Hi there. Today's an exciting day. I am going to go for my first flight in this VL3. And this plane is actually owned by Steve over here. Steve is my friend, neighbor, and also a fellow YouTuber. So he's got a channel called Pilot Steve. Feel free to check that out. There'll be a link below. But let's go learn about this plane. So you may not know what a VL3 is. I didn't know honestly either until I met Steve, but this is a really interesting airplane. It is factory built in Europe and it is certified in Europe as a regular GA airplane. However, it's not certified in the US. So this plane actually came here in a very unique way. It was taken apart, put into a shipping container, shipped across the Atlantic. Then it was re-registered as an experimental exhibition category so that it's legal to fly in the US. With Mosaic coming, that may change. This may become a SLSA soon, but for now it's experimental exhibition category. And that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna go do an exhibition. He's gonna take us up, he's gonna show me the plane, and I hear this plane is pretty fast. The specs on this plane are rather impressive. It comes with one of 4 Rotax engines, and this particular plane has the 916 IS, which is a 160 horsepower model of the popular Rotax. As far as performance, the stats are all here. Unfortunately, most of them are metric because this is a European plane, but as you can see, it can take off and land in a very short runway. It has a great climb rate of 2,600 feet a minute, and best of all, the max cruise speed is almost 200 knots true airspeed. All that with a very small and very light aircraft. So I think that's pretty impressive. So on the VL3, this baggage door is actually an option, but it's a highly recommended option because that lets you get access to this storage area. The storage area is big enough for a couple of roll bags, so it's perfect for 1 or 2 people to go. The interior is really nice. It's leather, it can be customized to any way you want, whatever stitching and color scheme you want. The control sticks are center control sticks. The pilot side has full control with autopilot disconnect and trim override. The co-pilot side has just push to talk on it. But the interior, what makes this so simple is that this is a FADEC engine, and that makes it really easy and fun to fly. There's not even a mixture knob. All you have is throttle, propeller, and trim. And that's it. So I noticed you have a pretty unusual contraption here to tug the plane. So tell me about this.
Yeah, it's a simple car moving mount that you can buy at Harbor Freight or online. And, I found this out a while ago with these small LSAs. They're only about 600 pounds on the nose wheel.
Oh my gosh.
So what we do is we pull the tail down, which we do anyhow to move the plane around. And we set it on here. This thing can move 360. And with that, you can move it anywhere you want, push it anywhere you want. And here, I'll give you a demo.
Look at that. And the plane is light enough that you can do this by yourself.
Here we go. We just saved $5,000.
That's amazing. So Steve, I noticed that this plane's got a pretty unique paint scheme. Can you tell me the backstory of this design?
Every VL3 that comes out of the factory, if you want to go over there, you'll sit with our artist, and he'll show you all the different colors and patterns that he suggests. And we sat down, and I was looking at the colors and all, and I have a daughter that just started Tulane Medical School. That's the green. My wife graduated LSU Medical School. That's the purple. And the rest is history. I mean, and it turned out great. Had no idea what I was doing.
It really did turn out great. Now, Cirrus does something similar. They call it the XI package, where they do a custom design. That is a separate item that is a pretty hefty price tag.
Yeah.
Sounds like these guys do it for every single plane. Every plane is custom.
Right.
That's interesting. All right, let's get it ready. Let's do a pre-flight. So Steve, normally a pre-flight, I know what they do on a normal pre-flight, but there's something funky with a Rotax that you do on pre-flight that I've never seen before.
Right.
Tell me about that.
Well, it's because of the Rotax, we do what's called burp the engine. It just starts the oil flowing through the engine, and it allows you to read a proper oil level. And so I'll come around here, we'll pull the oil cover. Don't drop that down in there, it's hard to get out. Don't ask me how I know. All right, there's our oil.
Okay.
And then we'll read it again after we burp it. So what we do to burp the engine, just pull the prop in the direction of rotation until it burps. Get a little closer so you can hear the burp over there.
Over here.
I don't do this every flight, mainly when it's been sitting, and it's been sitting about a week. So good to
And don't hit yourself.
yeah.
I heard it.
Heard it burp?
I heard a burp.
That's it.
That's funny. I don't usually get into planes with bubble canopies like this. How do I get in?
All right. So you can grab anywhere you want up here.
Yep.
And then just stand up on the wing. Make some room here real quick. All right, so you can, there's a piece of material back here. You can hold on to that with no problem.
Okay.
You can kind of hold on to this, and you can put all your weight there if you want to. And what I normally do is I step in one foot, second foot, hold my back, and just sit straight down.
All right.
We'll show you how to get out later.
All right. All right, my turn to get in now. Let's see how graceful this is. Got to get the cameras and the headsets out of the way first.
Yep.
And then... It's not too bad. That's not too bad. So here you see the big experimental placard. We're ready to start. So first thing, master switch comes on.
We want to hear the pump.
I hear the pump.
That's for the gear.
And the panel here seems pretty impressive. This is like a Garmin commercial right here.
Right.
So you got the
We have
7.
a video underneath if we need it.
Oh, that's nice.
Of the gear.
That's very nice.
Clear. And we press the start button. Clear. That starts it.
All right, rookie mistake. I forgot to put the charged batteries in the camera. So we had to shut down, and now we're gonna do a start again. At first, I was willing to just jump out with the prop running and just hop out and get it. But
don't do that.
Steve says we don't need to do that because it's a Rotax and hot starts are no big deal. So now we're gonna just do the same exact sequence again. And he tells me it's gonna start, so let's see.
All right. All right, so fuel pump 1 on, lane A and B on. Hold to T45, right there, and clear.
Look at that. The avionics here are impressive. So you got two, are these what, G500s?
D3Xs.
G3Xs.
They're all touch.
They're all touch screen. This is a Garmin 750. Is this the NXI?
NXI.
NXI?
Yeah.
And then is this the GFC 500?
700.
700.
Yeah.
So this is amazing. This is like the latest and greatest Garmin glass.
Right. Now, in the G3X setup, this drives everything. The G3Xs themselves both have AHRS and GPS, but it's not a certified GPS.
Right.
So if you were to lose this, you still got double navigation, double everything.
Right.
You can see the antennas are right here.
Amazing. Actually, that's kind of nice. That's inside the canopy, so they stay clean.
Yeah.
And the canopy can stay open even with this much wind hitting it.
Yep.
So these got to be really strong hydraulics.
So, everything looks great. All right, you ready to fly?
I'm ready.
Spruce Creek traffic, experimental 916 Fox Lima. We're going to be departing runway 6, Spruce Creek. So, our rotate speed is 60 knots. Do 1 notch of flaps. Spruce Creek traffic, November 916 Fox Lima. We're departing runway 6, Spruce Creek. 60. On a right rudder. Gear up. Flaps up. As you can see, it jumps off the runway.
Yeah. Pretty sporty takeoff there. I love the visibility with this big bubble canopy. All right, so we're at about 1,000 feet. We're cruising along at 133 and a fuel flow of 4.9 gallons an hour. That's amazing.
We're at 56% power. What's nice is once you get it set up, 5250, you don't touch it again.
Right.
There's no mixture. It's FedEx.
Wow.
And throttle, and once you get prop set and cruise, you don't touch it again.
Okay.
You want to fly it some, go ahead.
Yeah. All right.
Your airplane.
My flight controls.
Very responsive. Soft push tube.
I was just going to say that. Really nice feel.
Yeah.
Very soft on the controls.
It's a fun airplane. It really is.
This is pretty impressive. We're cruising around at 150 knots indicated and fuel flow of only 7.6 gallons per hour. That's amazing. That's an incredible performance for so little gas.
Yep. Of course, the higher you go, the better, the faster we go.
Of course.
But they can use that number and do the math, figure out when they get to 18,000 how fast they'll be going. All right, so we're going to head back. You ready?
Yeah. With the gear, what's the speed limit on the gear?
81 knots.
Okay.
So you'll see we'll have to get slowed up in a hurry.
Right. Beautiful plane, though.
Thanks. It's been a lot of fun.
Now, how much is optional in here that you chose to put in versus what just comes with it?
Well, pretty much everything's optional.
Okay.
You can decide just one display and no GPS, because these things have GPS. You can fly VFR all day long.
Right.
They usually come, the base probably is one display in the GPS.
Okay. And so you can choose your engine, either 912, 915, or 916.
Right.
You can choose your avionics, either one G3X or multiple.
Correct.
So it could be configured either VFR only or as an IFR airplane.
Right.
And the parachute, is that optional?
No. Parachute is standard.
It's standard, okay.
The only other optional thing is this baggage door, and I highly recommend it.
Okay.
If you like this video, you might enjoy this playlist up here. If you want to see what YouTube thinks you'll like best next, check out the video down here.